Memphis Success, episode 19 with Brandy, Aden of A&B Construction.
I got where I am. It's all about who you know and where you can go.
Want to be successful in business? Listen to Memphis Success, the voice of Memphis entrepreneurs. Be prepared to be challenged and inspired to dream big and take immediate action now.
Memphis Go-Getters, welcome to Memphis Success, the voice of Memphis entrepreneurs. Hello, I'm your host, Darnell Reed, and I interview local entrepreneurs right here in the Mid-South to challenge and to inspire you. And today I'm so excited. We have Miss Brandy Aden of A&B Construction Company on our show today. And just to kick things off, just to give you a little background, Brandy has worked with A&B Construction Company since 1994. She has experience working on job sites and in the office by communicating with subcontractors, architects, and clients. She has tons of degrees in the construction industry. A&B Company has worked with the who's who of Memphis companies here, such as First Tennessee Bank and FedEx and Smith and Nephew. I first met Brandy at the SBA Emerging Leaders, and I know she has participated in the Memphis Business Academy. So with that being said, I'm just so excited, so thrilled. I know she has so much information from her experience here at A&B Construction that I know will inspire you and challenge you to chase your dreams. So with that being said, Brandy, how are you doing?
I'm doing very good, Darnell. Thank you for allowing me to represent A&B Construction.
Hey, awesome. So with that being said, let's just go ahead and jump into things. I know you're a Memphian. We've talked, and there's just so many fascinating things about Memphis. But what's the first thing that comes to your mind when you think about Memphis and entrepreneurship?
Memphis has the potential for growth. You can be involved in the city. You can be involved in entrepreneurs, or you can be involved with it. Mm-hmm. There are companies coming in. Industrial side is growing. The commercial side, you've got FedEx here, where industrial companies can ship anything within the world in 24 hours.
Yeah. So definitely, I guess Memphis is definitely the transportation hub of the U.S. And I do believe there's tons of growth and still tons of opportunities here, for businesses such as yours and so many more. So when someone, I just gave a brief introduction about you, but when you're at this networking event and you meet someone and they ask you, what do you do? How do you normally explain it?
A&B Construction Company can help you construct your business future. We can do any construction for you, from new construction, interior, exterior remodel, and building maintenance.
Okay, cool. Well, that's definitely amazing there. I know you guys have a long history of doing this right here in the Mid-South. So everybody has an origin or a beginning to their business. So if you can, one of the fascinating things about this, and I will say you're the first company I've had a chance to interview where it's really been a true family business and has moved on from generation to generation. But if you can just tell that original story behind A&B, if you can kind of take us back to then, just giving us a brief history of this company.
A&B was started in 1977 by my father and a partner. They started out with residential burnouts, worked for construction companies. In the mid-'80s, A&B was introduced to First Tennessee Bank, where the company got experience with commercial construction. In about 2004, got involved with the industrial side of construction. So we have experience in all facets of construction, from residential, commercial, and industrial. We do for our clients, like I said earlier, we do interior, exterior models, new construction, and building maintenance. Right now, we have about 25 repeat clients
Wow.
that work with us.
Well, that's definitely a good sign. We have repeat clients.
It is in construction.
Yeah, they definitely keep things going. So, since this is a family business, and we briefly talked about this, and I know you said your father started the company with his partner back in 1977, and then you joined in 1994. And a lot of times I've always heard that it's challenging to kind of pass on, or just to have that next generation start to take on the business. So can you talk a little bit about when you joined in, how was that grooming process? How were you able to get involved to now be able to run the company?
In 1994, when I started, I was in high school, and during the summers school breaks, I would be out in the field working with the guys. I started from the ground up. I was sweeping floors. I was hanging walls,
Right.
Putting in ceiling. I did everything that the men could do or did do. In 2003, I rejoined the company after taking about a 3-year break. I rejoined the company and started in the office. I worked with the office manager at the time and learned the ins and outs of the accounting side, the paying the bills, payroll, working over the phone with everybody. After doing that for 2 years, I was a shadow with my father for another 2 years, where he would introduce me to the clients and I would start working with them. Eventually, the client started calling me directly, and now my father is, he works part-time, so he's pretty much retired. He's there when I need him.
Well, I think you definitely have just kind of laid that blueprint about, for those companies or people who may be listening now who already have companies and have children, where they eventually want them to be able to take over the company, that, hey, it sounds like they need to start from the ground up to really understand the foundation of the business, learn really those ins and outs of the business. And I think one of the big things that for me as a takeaway was, your father was the mentor, it sounded like, in the business.
He was the mentor, and starting from the ground up, I gained a lot of respect for employees who still work for me right now, and some clients that we still have repeat business from.
Okay. All right. Well, that definitely makes sense, and it's definitely just a good takeaway from that experience. So a lot of times as entrepreneurs, getting into businesses, and I know you probably have already seen it since you've been running the business. Has there been any challenge that you have faced, now since you've taken over for A&B? Has there been any challenges or disappointments that you've seen that, you've learned from and been able to bounce back from?
The biggest challenge that I have is being a female in construction.
Yes.
We do all types of work, and when I'm meeting with a gentleman project manager or facility site manager, and I have a suggestion, sometimes it's questioned. It was like that back in the early 2000s. You did not see women in the construction field. Now it's very common to see a woman out on a job site. You've even got, we work with some companies that have women electricians. I've got a subcontractor that has a woman concrete finisher.
Well, yeah, that's definitely amazing in the sense of, I really was going to ask that question of just thinking about in this industry, it's when you think about construction, you normally think about a man. And now since you're the head of A&B, and as a woman, how has that shifted and that? So, what do you think has caused it to evolve now, for women to be more respected in this industry?
Women have gained a respect. They go through apprentices now. There's apprentice school for carpentry, for electrical. They've started going that way. I know when I started, it was very hard being a woman to prove myself, and it took me 4 to 5 years once I was on the management side to prove myself and to know or to gain the respect of everybody. It was a lot of studying on my end. I immediately went after my contractor's license, and I hold the company contractor's license that we're licensed in Tennessee, Mississippi, Arkansas, and Louisiana right now.
And I heard those weren't too easy to get.
They are not very easy to get. It took me probably about 3 months of studying.
Oh, wow. So, hey, well, thank you, for sharing that. And Memphis Go-Getters, ladies who are listening, hey, there's opportunities in construction. You can get your contractor's license. Don't always think, well, since this is a man's supposed industry. No, there's women who are breaking through those barriers and are pursuing those things and are running businesses that would normally be dominated by men. So that's definitely great to hear. So with that being said, I call this our big shift moment. And I know in businesses, you kind of go through one stage and then to another stage. But I guess, Brandy, since you've been leading A&B, has there been one experience or, just something that you learned that just really helped just take your business to another level?
What I have learned is running a business is all about networking. It is all about who you know and out there shaking hands, meeting people. I can tell you that my aha step was about 6 years ago after networking for 5+ years and not really getting too far. I got a call from a very large company here in Memphis wanting a bid for a 5-year maintenance contract worth multi-million dollars. I never imagined I would be able to work with this company for this company. And we ended up landing the maintenance contract. And like I said, it was multi-million dollars over a 5-year period. And just this past year, or starting up for 2016, they have renewed the contract for 1 additional year for us.
Wow. That's definitely great news there. So do you attributed that just from your networking and hustling, just going out there, shaking hands and kissing babies?
It is all about networking and joining any membership group or industry group that you can get in.
Is there any specific ones that just comes to your mind?
For me, as a woman, I'm in or was in National Association of Women in Construction Memphis chapter. Currently, I am a very active member of the National Association of Women Business Owners. We are also a member of the Chamber of Commerce, where there are numerous meetings every month. You can go to lunches, meet and greets, and meet prospective clients. And it's not only meeting clients, it's meeting other people that are in the same field that you can lean on as a mentor.
Well, hey, that's definitely important. Networking is definitely key. And I love what you're saying is a lot of times about who you know and not what you know. And that's a great story of landing, $1 million, what you say, multi-million-dollar deal from networking and getting out there. So just to kind of shift on, now I know there's tons of things that you're excited about, but what is the one thing that you're just really enthused about in your business?
The growth of our business. Only about 3 years ago, A&B Construction was a nobody. Although we have been around since 1977, we did not, because of our client base, we were happy with who we had as a client. We were kind of like at a standstill. And now people know who A&B are. We've labeled our trucks. You see us out in the streets. You hear about us, numerous articles within Daily News or Memphis Business Journal. So we're out there. And that's what I'm excited about is our growth.
Okay, awesome. So let me ask you this. And I don't believe you weren't a nobody back then. Obviously, just being in business so long, there was obviously tons of things that you guys were doing right. But it sounded like there was a lot of more marketing activities done. You were mentioning your labeling of your trucks. So was that more the focus you believe, you say you're out there in articles, more of the PR activities, the true marketing of the business, that what caused the growth?
It was partially that. It was a good amount was the Small Business Administration Emerging Leaders class that you and I were members of. Mm-hmm. It helped set my 3-year plan, and that was one of the goals. A&B itself does not do much marketing. Yes, we did brand our trucks. Otherwise, we don't have the marketing material that some other people do. Most of our clients are pass word of mouth.
Okay. Well, that is marketing, the word of mouth.
It is. It's a very good one.
Yeah. So with that being said, I know, A&B has been in business for a very long time. But now, what do you foresee is more of that long-term vision, 3 to 5 years out from where you guys are right now? Let me just give you a little history. The past 4 years, we have grown 30% each year. Wow.
Next year, I hope to do the same thing of 30%, and then it's probably going to start leveling out. Mm-hmm. Right now, we're in a very comfortable position. Our employees are very, very strong, and employees make the company. And A&B is going to start to level out and become I'm moving from being in the field and all hands on to a CEO. And we're going to level out where the company becomes almost like a well-oiled machine.
Okay. Well, that's definitely great to hear. And it sounds like you guys have the plan in place to do it. Now, I consider this our lightning round of questions. So you can answer this as short or as in length as you would like. Normally I know when we first talked, you had talked about when you graduated from school, working in corporate America and then shifting into this business. Was there anything holding you back from just taking that initial step right off the bat?
I was worried about the aspect of running a business and having a family.
And what was there something, because I know a lot of people right now are faced with that same challenge right now. So for our Memphis go-getters out there, what advice or tips would you help them to just push out there and do that?
Go ahead and get started, because starting up is the hardest part of it. Uh-huh. And get everything started and running and start a family.
All right. Okay, so what is the best advice you have ever received?
Never give up.
Never give up. I like that. Now, is there anything that you like to read, watch, or listen to that keeps you inspired and motivated?
I like to read the daily newspapers that come out, the commercial appeal with the business section. Okay. You've also got the Memphis magazine that a lot of times features, just recently, the top 10 women in the Memphis area. You've got, just recently the top 40 under 40.
Right.
And those are all inspirational people, women. Look for inspirational women.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, is there a certain online website, application, or tool that helps you be more productive? Is there anything on did you have an iPhone or Android? I don't know. Is there a certain app that you use that just kind of helps you with your business?
I use my voice commands, or not my voice notes.
Oh, okay.
Very often. Mm-hmm. Pictures say 1,000 words.
Right. I would assume in this type of business, in the construction business, you're probably taking tons of pictures so you can understand what the job needs or what it looks like.
We are all the time. And everything I do is from my phone. I also use LinkedIn.
Okay.
That's a wonderful marketing tool for certain clients that you want to go to. For me, it's only 2 or 3 people of the 600 people that I'm networked with, but it helps.
Yeah, I definitely have heard people talk about LinkedIn. With Facebook is more social networking, but with LinkedIn is more about business and professionalism. And it seems like through LinkedIn, a lot of people have leveraged that to do a lot of networking and getting potential leads and clients from it. So yeah, that's definitely a great thing to point out. Now, is there one book that you would recommend our listeners to possibly read?
I have to tell you right now, I'm reading The Power of Habit. And it is about how habit starts to form our lives and how you can change bad habits.
Oh, okay. Wow.
And that's fresh on my mind. And it is a very good book, whether it's personal habits, whether it's business habits. It is, it gives you something to think about.
Okay. Have you thought about, is there a particular business habit that you've seen that, really works well for you, or one that you think, hey, I need to change?
One I need to change when I get overwhelmed. I get very antsy, and it's something that I do need to change.
Now, I consider this one of my tougher questions, or at least I always say this. Now, if you had $100 to spend to be a successful entrepreneur, how would you invest this money? And this $100 really represents time as an entrepreneur just starting off in their business. So if you had that time or money and you had 4 buckets to invest this money, would you, 1, invest it in leadership, 2, hustle, 3, education, or 4, networking? How would you spend that money?
I would put 50% in leadership, 50% in networking.
Okay.
It's all about being a leader. When you're running a company, I can tell you that my employees look up to me now. Mm-hmm. And it has taken numerous leadership classes, leadership books to learn how to be a leader that is respected. It's not something, for me, it's not something that I was just born with. You have to learn different personalities, how to work with people, and you learn a lot of that through leadership classes or books and skills. Okay. And then networking, I've already told you, networking is how I got where I am. It's all about who you know and where you can go.
Yeah, I definitely agree with the leadership and networking. So let me ask you this on the one point about networking. What, I guess, tips or advice? I know initially was a introvert, and you seem like you're more of an extrovert. You're shaking your head no, but I believe so. But is there any tips or advice you could give our Memphis go-getters if they're at a function or an event, just how to kind of network and try to meet people?
When I meet new people, shake their hand, tell them who I'm with, and a little bit about my company, the 10-minute or 10-second elevator speech that we introduced with. And then you get on a personal level with them. Mm-hmm. I can tell you how many times, or I can't tell you how many times I've had people trying to sell me services. That say it's a concrete company. They walk up, hand me their card, shake my hand, tell me who they are, and walk off. I'm not going to remember them.
Right.
I will remember somebody that tells me a funny story, gets to know me, wants to know what's going on.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I mean, it's about building relationships, and that has always been the point that works best for me. So I'm glad to hear that you do the same thing. Likewise, when you network. So that was 50% into leadership, 50% into networking. Wow, that was definitely a great lightning round with you. Now, just to kind of wrap things up with my last question, what does Memphis success mean to you?
Memphis success on the entrepreneurship side is the growth of small businesses. America is made of small businesses. And without small businesses, you're not going to have people to support the large businesses. And it's all about supporting the small businesses and making them successful.
All right. Well, thank you very much. And Brandy, how can people just find out more about A&B Constructions? And if there's any other last words of advice for our Memphis go-getters, please do share.
Look us up at www.a&bconstructionco.com. We've also got a LinkedIn page, and look for us around town. For the businesses trying to grow, go after it. There's so many opportunities out there, whether it's construction, whether it's selling paper products to the government, whether it's cleaning windows. You've got work out there that people are always looking for necessities to run for large companies to operate.
Hey, that is great, guys. Memphis Success. That was Brandy with A&B Construction. That was an awesome interview. Thank you very much just for all the tidbits and advice that you shared and just giving us the history of A&B Constructions and just talking about tons of ways that you've overcome, as a business owner, a woman in the construction industry. Memphis Go-Getters, remember, go and visit memphissuccess.com. Look for our show notes page. Look for A&B Constructions. I will have a lot of the details and tips that Brandy shared on the website. As well as please sign up, become a Memphis Go-Getter, get all the latest interviews and free tools that I will be sharing there. Also, go to iTunes. Please subscribe, rate, and review our show. You can send me an email and give me any feedback on this show. Once again, Memphis Go-Getters, as always, dream big, take action, and make money.
Thank you for listening to Memphis Success, the voice of Memphis entrepreneurs. Sign up now at memphissuccess.com to become a Memphis Go-Getter and receive all the latest information and free gifts. Because your success is Memphis Success.